Hey YouTube, back at it, continuing on with the Fiero project and the ls4 swap. I did pull the cradle out. It is completely removed from the car. It wasn't that difficult. However, one of the issues I ran into, which most people would probably run into, is the nuts up in the cradle up in here were spinning when I would try to take the bolt out from underneath. So I had to drill this hole here, and I had to do it on both sides actually. Drill the hole and put some vice grips on the, I believe it's called the castle nut, I believe. Could be wrong. Vice grips on that, and then I was able to put my wrench on it and get it out. This sheet metal is really thin. It's maybe a 1/16 of an inch. I just used a hole saw, cut through it like butter, no big deal. It took 30 seconds. If you are going to be removing your cradle, I would almost recommend just drilling the hole and doing that. It's so much easier. Also, if you've never had your cradle out, your car is now 30 plus years old, you're going to probably need heat. So heat works great, man. Get that nut, get that bolt super hot. I got mine red hot, and the thing just came out like butter. No problem at all. So here is the cradle out of the car, and this bolt over here, this one actually just snapped off. I got it right here actually. This one was actually pretty nice. I mean, it almost makes it easier if the bolt breaks, because then you don't have to worry about it. And this is the part that rides up in here like so, and as you try to turn this nut or this bolt here from underneath, this will just sit and spin up here. And this is supposed to be either welded or spot welded, or this isn't supposed to rotate, of course. The bolt inside here, that's supposed to spin out. But there you go. There's that side. This side here, of course, spun too. And like I said, just apply some heat and get that thing red hot. It'll pop right out. Of course, the only reason why I pulled this cradle out was for the ls4. I'm not going to try to drop it in through the top. It'd probably be damn near impossible to do that. So I wanted to pull the cradle out so I could test fit the engine on the cradle. Some people say you got to make a trim adjustment down here for the oil pan filter. I think I might have a solution for that. I'm going to try it out once I get the ls4 bolted up. What I'm going to do first though is put the V6 back on here, and that way I can get my transmission in the proper alignment. It's not really off right now, but the height will change based on where the V6 is going to bolt to it. So I want to get the V6 bolted to it, bolted to the transmission. That way the transmission is locked down to where it's supposed to be, and then I can build a brace to hold the transmission in the proper orientation like it is on the V6. That way when I bolt the V8 up to it, the engine is going to sit the way it's supposed to. It's not going to be cocked this way, or it's not going to be cocked up and down. I want the transmission to be right where it is and where it's supposed to be. Of course, also, in order to get the cradle out and wheel it around, you have to build a dolly. It's very, very easy. I just went to Lowe's, or you can go to Home Depot, whatever. I just picked up some 2x4s. Everybody builds theirs a little differently. I just took some measurements of the cradle underneath the car, and I transferred them to a piece of paper. And this is what I measured on my cradle here. So there's the dimensions, and I changed them up slightly on the front side. Instead of being 35, I think I cut it at 39, because it's a little wider in the front than it is in the rear. And then I just bought some cheap, I think those are 2.5-inch rubber casters from Lowe's, and screwed them down, and that's my little dolly that I built for this thing. So worked out pretty good. And once again, there's the ls4. It's pretty much ready to go. Well, not ready to go, but it's ready for test mounting. And once I get the cradle cleaned up, which I'm going to sandblast, and probably going to sandblast, maybe clean it up a little bit, paint it. I'll mount this on on here, and of course with my low starter underneath, I might have to notch. I'm probably going to have to notch out the transmission right here with the starter mounted low. But I think the starter is actually going to sit also higher than the bottom of the cradle, so it will be protected. Once I get everything bolted in and bolted down on here, I'll know 100% for sure, but I think it's going to clear just fine. So that's it, guys. I just wanted to kind of show you where the status was on the progress on how we're coming along with the ls4. So stay tuned for more videos. Thanks, guys.